Hey, this is Roger. It is the 1st of June, 2025. And you can see I'm mixing videos here. I've gotten a lot of progress done on the videos, and I'm going to be mixing it in with some early videos of the truck in its old condition as I start working on it. So you're going to see this. So this is kind of what you got to look forward to. I've got videos all the way up through this, and it's not finished yet, but that's a little flavor of what it's going to look like. But anyway, today's video, there was a little bag of nitrogen fertilizer that was left in the old truck and rusted through. And I'm going to show you just a little video on that. And then we're going to talk about some scripture in Hebrews where it talks about sin. And even something as good as nitrogen, sin, a lot of times it feels pretty good. And if you don't acknowledge it and you don't put it behind you, then you can't be forgiven, and the Lord's going to hold it against you. That's the basic story. So that's a little bit about the bag of nitrogen and the verse in Hebrews.
The little things that it's just a little interesting story, but a lot of times this truck in the winter would sit under the shed for, I don't know, a couple months. But for whatever reason, we had a little bag of nitrogen fertilizer. It was a really high content nitrogen, and it sat right there, and it got moisture on it. And once you get moisture and nitrogen fertilizer and exposed to metal, it will rust right through it. So it rusted all the way through the interior of the cab, and underneath here there is a cross member that goes all the way across from one side of the truck to the other to give it support. But that's been rusted out for probably 40 years, maybe 45 years. But when we take this off, that rust spot will be repaired, and then the cross member underneath, I'll either repair that and weld some new material onto it, or I'll cut it out and put a new member in. But there's all kind of little things. I don't know why we left nitrogen there. I don't know why we continue to leave it. But when we finally decided to move it in the spring of the next year, that's what we had underneath. So this truck's been riding around with a nice hole in the floorboard for at least 40 years.
Sometimes the little things are important, and my wife bought me a brand new Bible cover for my old worn out Bible, and it's got a renewed lease on life, and the pages are a little frayed, but I used a little super glue back here to get everything glued up, and got nice little pockets to put the ends in. So I get to keep using my Bible with all of the comments that I have written in here over the years. And I'm going to read to you out of the book of Hebrews in just a minute. Just to give you a little scripture, this is out of the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 26. If we deliberately keep on sinning after we have received the knowledge of the truth, no sacrifice for sin is left, but only a fearful expectation of judgment and of raging fire that will consume the enemies of God. So it's pretty clear. There's a lot about forgiveness in the Bible, but it's pretty clear there that if you don't ask forgiveness and you don't turn your back on sin, if you just leave it there rotting away like that old rust spot, then only a fearful expectation of judgment, of raging fire. Now, God doesn't want that to happen to anybody. He doesn't want anybody to be consumed by the raging fires, but there's consequences to our decisions, and we're put on this sinful earth to make choices and to choose to follow Christ the best we can. And if we just deliberately keep on sinning, and we all sin, different sins for everybody, we just deliberately keep on doing it, knowing that we're sinning, then we're going to be held accountable. And that's just the way God is. He's a wrathful God, but he's a loving God. He wants us to turn our back on sin and let him help us.